I spent an afternoon listening to Jack Bogle, the man who built Vanguard, the man who quietly changed the lives of millions of ordinary people. And as he talked, I felt something rare in finance: honesty, humility. A man who wasn't trying to sell me anything, just trying to tell the truth. He said something that hit me hard. Most of Wall Street is built to make money for itself, not for you. And the way he said it, calm, almost disappointed, you could feel the weight of a lifetime watching people get taken advantage of. Bogle believed something simple. Corporate America creates real value. But Wall Street takes a toll before that value reaches you. And that toll compounds against you for decades. He called it the relentless rules of humble arithmetic. If the market earns 7% and you pay 2% in fees, you don't earn 5. Over a lifetime, you earn 1/3 of what the market gives you. You take all the risk and get a fraction of the reward. That's why he built Vanguard the way he did, owned by the investors, not outside shareholders. No parent company draining profits forever. Just a structure designed to give the return back to the people who actually put up the money. And then he built the index fund, not because it was clever, but because it was fair. He told me, the stock market is a casino in the short run, but in the long run, it's a machine for compounding. And when he said it, he smiled. The smile of a man who's watched decades of noise fade into nothing. He believed the best plan is the one you can stick with, not the smartest, not the most optimized, the one that survives your emotions. That's why he loved balanced funds, 60% stocks, 40% bonds. Not because they beat the market, but because they protect you from yourself. When stocks fall 50%, a balanced fund might fall 30%, and that difference is the difference between panic and patience. He talked about dividends like they were old friends, quiet, reliable, the kind of friends who show up when the world falls apart. Then he told a story I'll never forget. A lawyer bought $15,000 of the first Vanguard index fund in 1976 and never sold. 40 years later, it was worth $900,000, not because he was brilliant, but because he did nothing. Bogle leaned back and said, "The biggest enemy of the investor is the investor." And I felt that, deeply. Then he talked about risk, real risk, not volatility, not the red numbers on a screen, but permanent loss, the kind that takes decades to recover from, the kind that breaks people. He talked about the risks we can't measure: inequality, political tension, disease, war, the unknown unknowns. And he said, you can worry about these things every day, but you still have to prepare for the future. And then, with that dry Bogle humor, he added, if there's nuclear war, it won't matter whether you own stocks or bonds. He wasn't being dark. He was reminding us, you can't build a life around fear. You build it around probability, discipline, and time. And then he said something painfully true. Most people hand their money to Frank from the bank because Frank is friendly. But friendliness isn't a financial strategy. Numbers are. He looked almost fatherly when he said, invest you must. Not because the world is safe, not because the future is certain, but because the only guaranteed outcome of not investing is zero. And zero is not a retirement plan. So this is what I took from Jack Bogle. Keep your costs low. Own the whole market. Hold it for life. Let time do the heavy lifting. And don't let fear steal the future you're building.